Listen up. I'm going to be straightforward. If you clicked on this video expecting to hear the usual motivational fluff, where I pat you on the back and say, everything will be okay, you can leave right now. Because there's no room here for excuses or for your habit of playing the victim. Do you know why your life doesn't change? Because you're stuck in the same cycle, making the same mistakes, expecting different results. And guess what? That's not going to happen. Life doesn't pity those who settle, and neither do I. This video isn't for everyone. It's for those who are ready to hear hard truths, for those who have the courage to face reality, and most importantly, for those who are tired of being the doormat others walk on. If you want to stay in your comfort bubble, thinking that someday luck will change, you can leave now. But if you're ready for a reality check, to hear what no one has had the guts to tell you until now, then stay here. Because I'm going to show you how to stop being the pitiful person who always complains and start being the man who takes control of his own life. Now, if you're easily offended, it's better not to continue. What comes next is not for the thin-skinned. But if you truly want to transform your life, then I challenge you to watch until the end. Who knows? This video might be exactly what you need to stop sabotaging yourself and start being the protagonist of your own story. Let's go, because today you're going to hear what you need, not what you want. Let's get to it. Number 1, be indifferent and stop being the desperate clinger. All right, my friend, it's time for a harsh reality check. If you keep acting desperate, she will never take you seriously. The key to turning this around is indifference. Yes, that cold and calculated stance that will make her stop lounging in her comfort zone, thinking you'll always be there, drooling and chasing after her like a lost puppy. You need to understand that as long as you're always available, she will never feel challenged. And let's be honest, without a challenge, there's no interest. You know that ridiculous habit of liking all her photos, commenting on every post, and sending messages in the middle of the night just to see if she slept well. Stop that! Now, that screams one thing, desperation. And desperation is the biggest interest repellent there is. If you really want her to change the way she perceives you, the first thing you need to do is adopt a stance of indifference. This doesn't mean being rude or impolite, but rather stopping the behavior that suggests her life is the center of your universe. Here's the secret. Start ignoring her on purpose. That new photo she posted? Don't like it. That story she just published? Skip it. And those messages you used to send just to start a conversation? Forget it. Let time pass. Make her wonder what's happened. Make her miss you. Because when you stop chasing her like a desperate fool, she'll start noticing your absence. And guess what? That will bother her. She'll start wondering why you're not at her beck and call anymore. Why you're not chasing after her like a headless chicken. And that discomfort is what will spark her interest. But listen, this strategy will only work if you stop focusing on her and start focusing on yourself. That's right, on you. Invest in your personal development, your hobbies, your friends, your work. Show that you have a full, interesting life that doesn't revolve around her. You're not an accessory in her life, so stop acting like one. When she realizes that you have a fulfilling life and don't need her to be happy, that's when she'll start seeing you in a different light. And no, this isn't a change that happens overnight. It will take time. You will need patience, persistence, and most importantly, confidence. Confidence in yourself. Confidence that you deserve more than being treated as an option. And eventually she'll realize that you're no longer the guy who chases after her desperately. You're the guy who knows what he wants, who values himself, and who won't settle for less than he deserves. So, to sum it up, the key to sparking her interest is simple. Be indifferent. Show that you are complete and confident, that you have an interesting and purposeful life. And when she feels that your attention is slipping away from her, she'll do everything to get it back. But remember, this change starts with you. There's no point in expecting her to change her attitude if you don't change yours first. So be firm, be persistent, and above all, be true to yourself. Number 2, stop playing games. This isn't chess. It's about not being pathetic. Listen here, partner. Enough with thinking you're playing some grand emotional chess game where backing off is just another move to keep her on the defensive. Let me tell you a truth. This isn't a game, and you're not some master strategist. Backing off isn't about trying to be clever and seeing if she'll chase after you. If you're thinking like that, congratulations. You're still the same desperate fool as always, just now thinking you're smart. Spoiler, you're not. The reality is that backing off isn't about playing hard to get or toying with her emotions. That's kid stuff, and if you're still doing that, sorry, but you need to grow up. Backing off is a mature decision. A smart choice made by someone who finally decides to value themselves. And if you still think this is just another trick to see if she'll react, then sorry to break it to you, but you're still lowering yourself for crumbs of attention. Want some real advice? Stop with the nonsense. Value yourself. Stop acting like her life is the center of your universe, and start thinking about you, your well-being, your peace of mind. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about making her miss you. It's about understanding that you deserve more than this endless chase after someone who clearly doesn't care about you. So, do yourself a favor. Choose to stop chasing, not because you think you'll win the game, but because you finally realize that this game is ridiculous. When you stop playing this match that only you're playing, that's when you'll really be in control. And you know what? Whether she notices or not is her problem. What matters is that you stop being the idiot who chases after her. You deserve more, but you'll only get it when you stop with these childish games and start acting like an adult. It's that simple. Number 3. Stop living in the past and face the now, you pathetic nostalgic. Look, I'm going to be brutally honest. What makes you this emotional zombie running after her is precisely the fact that you're stuck in the past, reminiscing about the good times you had together. Really? Dwelling on that will help you how? Okay, I get it. When a relationship ends, the damage is huge. You feel like you're at rock bottom, especially if there's still a strong feeling involved. But reliving that glorious past is only going to keep you in a miserable cycle of endless suffering. Is that what you want for your life? It's time to face reality and focus on the now. Stop torturing yourself with what could have been or where you went wrong. If this woman still has any feelings for you, rest assured, at some point, she'll come looking for you. But until then, my friend, live in the present. Those thoughts dragging you back to the past will only make you anxious. And do you know what anxiety does? It pushes you to make stupid decisions you'll regret later. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine, just so you understand what I'm talking about. The guy used to get anxious every night because that's when loneliness hit the hardest. Guess what he did? He'd send messages, call her, humiliate himself. And what did he get out of it? Nothing, just regret. She always had an excuse to ignore him. She was too busy to talk to him. Of course, she was busy moving on with her life while he was stuck in a cycle of neediness and submission. Pathetic, right? This story makes it clear that when you're obsessed with the past, your mind becomes your worst enemy. And look, if you don't break this cycle, you'll continue to be this ghost from the past, trapped in your own emotional chains. Focus on the now, man. Value yourself. Free yourself from this prison you've created. The truth is, you become more attractive when you stop living in the past and start being complete on your own. Want to build a decent future? Then start focusing on the present. So, here's the message. Stop being the pathetic nostalgic who lives trapped in memories of a time that's already gone. Focus on the now and build a present that's truly fulfilling. You deserve to be happy, but that happiness doesn't depend on a woman who's gone or on an idealized version of what you had. Cultivate self-love, because it's only from there that you'll be able to build anything worthwhile in your life. If you want to learn how to use psychological tricks to get into that woman's mind and make her act the way you expect, seeking you out and thinking only of you, read the ebook in the description of this video. After this read, you'll learn how to use your cold side to deeply affect this woman and master the art of seduction. Stop being a doormat and start being the man she truly values. Number 4, expectations. Only if you want to be disappointed. Let's be real, my friend. Let's put an end to this childish habit of creating expectations. The reality is, that at some point, this woman might come after you. Maybe it's because she still feels something, or maybe just because she's bored and needs a distraction. And it's exactly in those moments that you run the biggest risk of looking like a fool. It's way too easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everything will go back to how it was before, that she'll remember how special you were. Wake up! If you go down the path of creating expectations, the chances of getting hurt are huge. And the worst part? You'll end up repeating the same mistakes as before, as if you hadn't learned anything. The key here is simple. Stay neutral. Expectations are for those who like to live in illusion, and that, my dear, doesn't align with someone who truly wants to change the dynamics of a relationship. When she shows the first signs of interest, hold back. Don't rush to her like a puppy who finally sees its owner coming home. Restrain yourself. Keep your composure and let things unfold naturally. If you always react in the same desperate way, hoping she'll come back to save you, guess what? Nothing will change. You'll keep being the same guy she left behind. If she does come after you, be ready to act differently this time. Don't be the same needy, desperate man she already knows. Show that you've grown, that you have a renewed mindset, that now you act with assertiveness. Don't let your emotions take over like a teenager who's just been asked out for the first time. Stay calm, confident, and in control of your emotions. Expectations only create a fantasy in your head, and most of the time, reality is quite different. So, be smart and protect yourself from possible disappointments. Look, creating expectations is like digging a hole and then jumping into it. You'll prepare yourself expecting that happy ending, and when things don't turn out as planned, guess what? You'll fall flat on your face again. It's much smarter to be realistic. Analyze the situation with a cool head and make conscious decisions based on what's really happening and not on what you wish would happen. Always remember, your worth and happiness don't depend on her. Take care of yourself, value who you are, and let things take their natural course without forcing anything. This way, you'll always be in control, without being carried away by fantasies that only exist in your head. So, do yourself a favor and bury those expectations along with past illusions. Live in the present with your feet on the ground and stay firm. You don't need scraps of attention or false hopes. Take care of yourself, and the rest will follow naturally without having to beg for anything. Number 5. Stop being a pushover and become the best version of yourself. Look, enough with the excuses. If you really want to win a woman over and maintain a decent relationship, it's time to stop settling for crumbs and start transforming yourself into the best version of yourself. And no, this isn't just about looking better in the mirror. It's about being someone who's truly worth it, in every sense. It's time to invest in yourself for real. Don't just sit there waiting for things to get better. Get up and make it happen. Start with the basics. Improve your skills, the way you think, and how you approach life. Do you think you'll attract someone interesting by being the same old complacent guy? Invest time in your personal growth. Read books that challenge your mind. Take courses that push you out of your comfort zone. Explore new hobbies that make you see the world differently. Expand your horizons, and please, stop living in this limited bubble. And don't tell me looks don't matter. Take care of yourself physically, yes, but understand that being the best version of yourself goes beyond having a ripped body. Take care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. Exercise, eat healthily, and above all, strengthen your mind. Self-confidence is what truly attracts, and you'll only achieve that if you stop sabotaging yourself and start genuinely valuing yourself. Be ambitious, have clear goals, and fight for them. No one is impressed by someone who lives aimlessly, waiting for life to just happen. A person with passion and purpose is naturally attractive. And no, don't try to be something you're not just to please others. Be authentic. Show who you really are, but show the best version of yourself. The one who works to be better every day. Now don't think it's just about you. Your interpersonal relationships also need attention. Cultivate genuine friendships. Maintain a network of contacts that supports and helps you grow. Learn to communicate, really listen, and respect others' opinions. even if you think you're always right. Spoiler, you're not. When you start being the best version of yourself, people notice, and that includes the woman you so badly want to win over. Remember, you deserve to be loved and appreciated for who you are. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't work to be someone better. No one likes someone who tries to be something they're not just to please. Be you, but be the best you possible. Invest in your growth. Take control of your life. And stop waiting for things to just fall into your lap. Be the protagonist of your story, because in the end, that's what really matters. Number 6. Stop being the nice guy she puts in her pocket. Let's face it, my dear. Being the nice guy, the one who's always available, ready to please, won't get you anywhere, except straight into her pocket. And let me tell you, once you're in her pocket, there's no turning back. She knows you're there, ready to cater to her every whim, offering no challenge, showing no backbone. And what does that mean? That she'll never, ever see you as someone interesting, let alone as someone worthy of respect. Enough of this life of saying yes to everything, of accepting whatever she throws at you just to avoid conflict, or worse, to earn a few measly minutes of attention. If you want her to take you seriously, you need to start acting like someone who deserves to be taken seriously. This means you need to show that you have personality, that you have your own opinions, and above all, that you're not afraid to say no when something doesn't sit right with you. Because let me tell you something, being too nice only makes you look weak, and let's be honest, weakness isn't attractive to anyone. On the contrary, it's an invitation for her to ignore you, or even worse, use you. So, it's high time you start valuing yourself for real. I'm not talking about pretending to be confident. I'm talking about genuinely believing that you deserve more than being the guy she only calls when she needs a shoulder to cry on or someone to foot the bill. Set boundaries, establish your own rules, and don't be afraid to enforce them. Because if you keep letting her walk all over you, you can bet she will. And guess what? The more you let yourself be walked on, the less she'll respect you, and the more you'll sink into this role of sidekick in her life. Don't settle for the crumbs she throws your way. You deserve more, but you'll only get it when you stop accepting everything she tosses in your direction. Be firm, show that you have value, and that you're not going to accept being treated as a second option. If you start standing up for yourself, defending what you want, and showing that you won't be the nice guy anymore, things will start to change. And you know why? Because women don't respect men who don't respect themselves. So, stop being the nice guy she puts in her pocket. You need to be the man she looks at with respect, with admiration, because she knows you're not someone who'll bend to every whim. Stop being the doormat she wipes her feet on and start being the man she needs to chase. Because in the end, no one respects or desires the guy who only says yes. She needs a man, not a doormat. And the choice of who you're going to be is yours alone. Number 7. Get out of the comfort bubble and face the unknown. It's time to stop fooling yourself into thinking that life will hand you something good while you hide in the safety of your routine. Let me tell you a secret. Real life, the one that brings growth, success, and experiences worth having, begins where your comfort zone ends. If you think you'll achieve anything significant without stepping out of this warm and familiar bubble you've built, it's time to wake up to reality. You know that saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained? Well, it exists for a reason. If you're not willing to take risks, to face your fears, and yes, to fail from time to time, then forget about any idea of growth. Failure is part of the process. It's how we learn, how we grow, how we become stronger. If you're not willing to deal with the discomfort of failure, you'll remain stagnant, living a mediocre life, never knowing what you're truly capable of. So, let's go. Try new things, even if they make you nervous or insecure. Get out there, meet different people who challenge your beliefs and make you think outside the box. Facing the unknown isn't easy, I know, but it's the only way to truly discover yourself. When you put yourself in situations that break the mold, that force you to think, to react, to adapt, that's when real growth happens. Look, If you want to be someone who's truly worth it, you need to be willing to face what makes you uncomfortable, because it's outside that comfort bubble that you'll find real opportunities for success. Opportunities that will make you grow, that will transform you into someone better, stronger, more confident. But none of this will happen while you're hiding, avoiding anything that challenges you. So do yourself a favor and stop hiding. Life is too short to be lived on autopilot, always doing the same things, with the same people in the same places. Start living for real. Face the unknown and see what the world has to offer you. Who knows, you might discover you're much more capable than you ever imagined. But that will only happen if you have the courage to step out of this bubble and face what life truly has to offer. So put fear aside, muster up some courage, and go live. Life begins where your fear ends. Number 8. Stop being weak and be your own source of happiness. Let's put an end to this nonsense once and for all. The biggest lie you ever bought was that you need someone else to be happy. Do you know what that makes you?
Weak, an emotional dependent who lives in the shadow of others, begging for scraps of attention and approval.
Wake up! If you're not capable of being happy on your own, if you can't find satisfaction in who you are, in your achievements, in your own hobbies, then you're doomed to a miserable life. And do you know why? Because no one, absolutely no one, is going to complete you. That hole you feel inside, only you can fill it. Stop projecting your emotional needs onto others, as if they were responsible for your happiness. That's cowardice, and worse, it's the perfect recipe for disappointment. Work on your own well-being. That means finding joy in the simple fact of being who you are, without needing anyone's validation. Learn to enjoy your own company, to be proud of your accomplishments, no matter how small. Be happy alone, because then, and only then, will any relationship that comes into your life be a bonus, not a crutch. And do you want to know what happens when you stop depending on others to feel good? You become invincible. You gain an inner strength that no one can shake. Suddenly, emotional manipulations, games, attempts to bring you down, all of it becomes useless. Why? Because no one else has the power to control you. No one else holds the key to your happiness. That key is yours and yours alone. So stop being that pitiful person who thinks happiness is in someone else's hands. You are the center of your own universe, and you better start acting like it. Build your own happiness with your own hands, with your own sweat, and stop waiting for someone to come save you. The truth is harsh, but here it is. No one is going to save you except yourself. When you understand this, you'll discover you're much stronger than you imagined. And do you know what's even more amazing? When you finally become the center of your own life, everything starts to fall into place. You become irresistible, not because you need to be, but because you want to be. And that, my friend, is what really matters. Be the master of your happiness, and watch how the world around you changes. The choice is yours. Continue being weak, or finally become the force you've always wanted to be. We've reached the end, but the journey is just beginning. If you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step towards stopping being the man who lives in the shadow of others and becoming someone who owns their own life. The tools are all there in your hands. There are no more excuses, no more time to waste. The path to becoming the best version of yourself is tough, full of challenges, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. You have everything you need inside you to turn this game around, to stop submitting to what doesn't serve you, and to start building a life that's truly worth living. The change starts now, and it starts with you. Don't wait any longer for the world to give you permission to be happy, to be strong, to be the protagonist of your own story. Make that decision today, now, and watch how the world around you will transform when you take control of who you really are. Every step you take toward becoming your own source of happiness, toward facing the unknown, toward stopping hiding behind the mask of being nice, will bring you closer to what you truly deserve. A full, authentic life filled with meaning. So, raise your head, fill your chest with courage, and go forward, because the only person who can stop you from achieving what you want is yourself. Be the force that drives your life, the pillar of your happiness, and show the world that you're not here to be just another face in the crowd, but to be someone who makes a difference, who lives with purpose, who inspires, and who leads. From today on, the only way is up. The choice is yours, and the time to act is now.